So yeah, Sean, just when I thought from prior episodes that you may have been the problem, and then I saw this group dinner episode with you and Nikki and how y'all presented, I was like, and you're still the problem. And Courtney, when I tell you you are one disrespectful somebody, girl, like the way if I were Nick, I'd be so good off of you. Reality TV show lover, TV show hopper from one thing to the next, it wouldn't even matter. I'd be so donezo with you, I'd just go ahead and find me another show to be a part of.
Like it's delirium, ay, ay, like it's delirium, ay, I got delirium, ay, like it's delirium, yeah, yeah, like it's delirium. She just wanna bounce to it, baby, get your giddy on. Walk up to the stage with a drink like I'm Giveon, but I never came here to sing what I'm really on.
What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Tayi to be here. Welcome to my chat party. If you're here to join me a little bit, for a lot of bit, fashionably early, fashionably late, to hear my little thoughts, my little views, my little opinions on Married at First Sight, season 20, episode number 7, drama on the menu, then I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all of you who keep showing up to my party and subscribing and becoming a part of the VIP party list. Mwah. Thank you so much for those of you who continue to show up like y'all been here. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I appreciate y'all so much. If you just want to become a part of the family, again, I ain't asking for no money over here or nothing like that. Just go ahead and hit the doggone subscribe button. Like, okay? Like, what are you doing for real? Come on and have a good time with us. Just keep coming with it, y'all. I'm not shooing anyone away. You can go ahead and come into the party just as long as your energy is good. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't got nothing good to say, just hold it. All right. Then it's all love. But thank you for showing up on the dance floor with your comments, for sharing the video, for hitting the like button, and even just peeking in if you don't do nothing, right? Well, you can't be doing that a whole lot. All right. If you want to keep peeking in, just come on and be a part. All right. But y'all, we got a lot to get into. I got a whole lot to say. Hopefully this video won't be too long, but I feel like it's going to be a long one. And so let's just go ahead and hop right into it. So we spend a good portion of this beginning segment on Marissa and Adam. And what significant takeaways did we gain from the two of them? Nothing. Okay. And they're talking small talk while he's making them a grilled cheese and tomato soup for dinner, which I thought that was kind of cute. He's stepping in, taking the dinner. I also will say that I do like the fact that even though he's not a drinker and I really thought that was going to be a problem, still doesn't mean it couldn't become one because we don't know how often she drinks or not, or if that's going to be an issue for him. I still like that he allowed her to just be comfortable in her skin, even though it's not his thing. He still supported her thing, pouring up the wine for her and all of that. So definitely was paying attention to that. But when they sit down, she wants to know if he feels they're totally being transparent with one another. He says that he is, and also says he feels that when he does suggest something, she goes along with it because she's very nice. Like she's a very much go with the flow type of person. And I think her response, more or less, was just kind of like, yeah, I just kind of just trying to see what you do and all this other. So maybe she's in an observant phase. Maybe she um is just really giving it some time because I think after a while, you get tired of just doing what one person wants to do, or it's still the beginning. We'll see. Favorite line. At this point, everyone's getting prepared to get ready for the group dinner. I said, looking good, y'all, looking good. Especially Courtney in that blue dress. Now I'm gonna give her that because blue is my favorite color and I love a long dress, whether it's fitted, flare, maxi, whatever. And sidebar for me, just while we're on the fashion of it all, right quick, Courtney, Beljolie, Michelle, and Nikki were serving, honey. They were serving. I'm sorry, they just were either beautiful or the dress was looking right or the colors were going or the hair was bopping. Nikki with that hair, loved it all. So, anyways, Cam is admiring and complimenting Michelle as she's getting ready. They're also hugged up on the couch, saying since they're the second oldest couple, that they have to be mature and set the tone with everyone else. And can I just say, okay, I gotta bring it back some steps from what I said before. Okay. I'm okay with doing that. I am pleasantly surprised at what they're giving each other at this point because seemingly they're settling into one another very comfortably and very authentically. And I really like that. I do. I cannot hold you. I can't front. So I'm going to change my tune for now, y'all. Okay. The DJ going to switch up the record right now. We're going to switch it to something else. I no longer find them boring, but actually maturing in their process and also a breath of fresh air compared to the other folks for me. As a matter of fact, they're the only breath of fresh air at this point, in my opinion. And so instead of saying I'm waiting for him to find something to be picky about with her, like I said before, I'll say I hope he doesn't find anything. And if he does, that he'll work his way through it instead of running away like he's accustomed to doing. And so he's even flirting with her, y'all. He's checking out her boobage, trying to get a little peek. Love it all. Absolutely. I said, go ahead, y'all. So DJ, shout out to Michelle and Kim. You know what I'm saying? I said, cheers to them. Clink, 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 clink. Okay. And so now we see Tori getting ready with Felipe. And we get a side confession about how after their bedroom moment together, she had anxiety and is being an avoidant specifically, or has been an avoidant specifically in romantic relationships, but she's working through it. So I guess the key thing is there, she's working through it, right? Everything is always, or we always are, a work in process. You should forever want to be teachable. And so, listen, I'm glad she can admit that. I still really can't wrap my head around how, after feeling him so much, y'all did the do and that didn't bring them closer, but kind of pulled her apart. But like, yeah, like she said, that's her own personal thing that she has going on. I just feel like something changed for the worst after that. And I something turned her all the way off. And I can't help but think like what really went down in there. But to each his own, it's bigger than that, right? I guess from an emotional standpoint. So we're going to give her that and allow her to feel however she's feeling because she's entitled to that. So Beljolie is getting ready with Mecca. He lets us know in his confessional after his honeymoon conundrum of him telling her about how she was feeling him more than he was feeling her, or attracted. She's fallen back a bit, so he notices that. So, for example, he said if he doesn't go in for a kiss with her, then he won't get one. I said, in other words, he's having to put a little more work in it, and I'm not mad at that. Make him work, girl, okay? And over with Courtney and Nick getting ready, this girl, y'all. So Nick starts feeling himself, right? And how he looks. And I wasn't mad at that either. I said, shoot, you might as well feel yourself. If you don't tell you, who gonna tell you? Because Courtney sure ain't gonna do it. And don't hold your breath waiting for her to do it. Okay. And we see now in this moment, to me, the bachelor night Nick brought back. It's just kind of the messy of it all. Cause I don't know if y'all recall that night in his little side interview, he was like, yeah, my marriage is the only one that's going to work, not knowing a doggone thing as it relates to what was going to happen with these people. So I kind of feel like that kind of messy mode was back with him when he then proceeded to say that um he felt like there was going to be some cracks in the relationship, right, when they get to dinner tonight. And I'm like, sir, do you realize you're part of that category as well? Like, your joint is not cracked, that is all the way like depleted, broken, apart, like shattered, discombobulated, everything. So I said, I don't know if you should be saying anything, but he's trying to tap into her with just more conversation, learn about her in this moment. So he wants to get back into the physical touch side of things because they touched on that with the session they had with Dr. Lisa. And what does that look like for her? Yada yada yada. So, anyways, she says that, oh well, like, I'm not gonna make you wait for like sex or anything like that. And he was like, no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about the physical touch. So again, just her giving all these roundabout answers. So that leads to her saying she was cheated on and she allowed it because she was whipped in that moment. And I said, well, I mean, that did not serve her well at all, because I feel like she's hardened. She's hardened. If she wasn't before, then she's definitely hardened now. And Nick is getting that hardened side of her, and that's not fair to him. And so she says, hey, love is blind. And Nick chimes in. I said, not him chiming in actually, but that's Netflix. I said, listen, if Nick don't know nothing else, clearly he gonna know his shows. He gonna know them dating shows, okay? He may not have known if he was more on the liberal or conservative side, but he knows his shows. Right? But anyways, he asked her if she thinks she's ready for a romantic relationship, and she said, yeah, she wouldn't be here if she wasn't. I said, and you're not. You're definitely not ready because you haven't made any efforts for real, in my opinion, to show you're interested in trying to be in the relationship with Nick that you're in. Fresh case in point. You just wanted him to fill in the awkward silence that they had when she was doing her hair because he knows that she doesn't like that awkward silence. And I'm like, okay, so why didn't you just fill it in then? Why did he have to do it? Why couldn't you just do it? Like, you get an F for effort. And she says she came here because she wants to find her person and be loved. And I believe she's saying this in her side confessional. And I'm like, yeah, but the real question is, do you know how to give love? Because again, it's a reciprocal thing. It's not just you coming to take, and somebody pour just into you, girl. Like, that's not how it goes. This has been all about you thus far. And she also says she wants this to work. I said, but we don't believe you. You need more people. So moving on, it's group dinner time. The couples are arriving slowly while the experts, Dr. Paul and Dr. Lisa, are watching behind the scenes on the screen. And I love how when Adam arrived, Dr. Paul was like, what is he wearing? Some kind of hat with this short set that was kind of giving Hawaiian vacation. It was a fun wear, but it kind of was like, to the point of what the experts were saying, you're trying to draw some type of attention. And they get deeper into that by saying he definitely, because Felipe and Tori come in and Felipe gives him the reaction that he was looking for based off of his outfit. And, the experts are just like, yeah, that's the point of it all. It's like he wants to get aroused and a reaction from this whole outer kind of situation, so he doesn't have to get more into the inner of who he really is. And again, our favorite word with him and his couple, what the substance of it all is. Like, he's trying to avoid that. And so um when Courtney and Nick come walking in, before they approach the room where everyone else is, Courtney's like, let's hold hands, like Dr. Lisa's told us to practice. And I said, what a mess. What a absolute forced mess. And I'm glad the expert noticed that as soon as they walked in the room where everybody was, they immediately dropped hands. And so, it was all a crock of crap. And so Nikki comes in, she's walking alone. And the experts have a feeling already that something must be up with her and Shawn, because they're like, where's Shawn? Like, okay. And they were right. Though in the conversation, Nikki seems to play it off and says Shawn had to work or had a work thing and will be late. And this is when I noticed too, I will say, to my point of why, even though I'm jumping the gun, I feel like it still is Shawn, because even in this moment when he's not present, she's still trying to represent him in a positive fashion, even if that's not what she's feeling. Now, would I be doing that? I would not. Okay. And let me not say that, because not only she was singing his praises, but it's still the fact that I might have been a little bit more petty with it. Like, I don't know it yet, but I'm here. Okay. No, let me stop. Maybe not. Because he just would have been working my nerves so bad at that point. What they say, I'm gonna match your energy, and that's not the right thing to do. And even Devin tells her that at one point, like, why are you trying to fight fire with fire? But it's like, because you get tired of doing the right thing. But the point is, in this moment, I feel like she could have gone off the deep end in a real disrespectful venting kind of way, but she didn't. She still kind of let the girls know what was up in a very classy way, in my opinion. But either way, or um we learn that there was a double date as she's talking to the ladies between her, Shawn, Beljolie, and Mecca the night before. It didn't go well. And I said, what else is new? What else is new, Shawn and Nikki? Tell us something that we don't know. According to Dr. Lisa, Shawn not only was, according to Dr. Lisa, not only was she surprised that Shawn showed up, but that he came looking dapper. I said, okay. Meanwhile, the rest of us probably were like, listen, you might think he looking dapper, but we hope he spent more than 3 minutes on all his parts and got those crevices real good, okay? Because unfortunately, he brought that to us with his 20-second wipe down that we had to witness, and those crazy moments of things he was saying after that as he relates his hygiene. So it's forever embedded. We can't help that. And now it's on a national television show. But anyways, now we didn't see him go greet Nikki when he came in, and I realized Dr. Lisa had kind of even maybe brought that up, or Dr. Paul, one of them, like, well, whoa, did he go speak to her? And I really hope that is just something the cameras didn't pick up. Because if he, in fact, really did not go to speak to his wife or this person that he's in partnership, at least for now, mad disrespectful. But I wouldn't be surprised. Mecca and Beljolie opposing while the experts are talking about how good they look together. And that is one thing I can definitely agree with, right? I may not know how they're really flowing like that, or at least what he's really feeling at the end of the day. But one thing we ain't going to deny is that them folks look good. Okay, they look good. They do it. They look like a main entree on a plate. Both of them just together, radiating that. Oof, just, I loved it. And so Dr. Lisa feels based on Mecca's history, he's a little reluctant and just not one to jump into things. And that makes sense. But I just feel like he's not jumping into this either because he's just not really feeling it past the friendship level. We'll get into that. And I hope, again, that I'm wrong. I hope it is something where his walls will start to come down because, they probably are something that could really turn out to be a wonderful thing. So everyone's having sidebar conversations, and I want to go ahead and hop into the dinner table conversations. But before we do, okay, I said sidebar. As Shawn is talking to Nick, he has the nerve to tell him that when he says something to Nikki that is against her perspective or ruffles her the wrong way, she goes dark. I'm like, time out, scratch, scratch the DJ record, please scratch it. I said, so in other words, your tone that you give her, your fact that you have a habit of interrupting her when she speaks. And I know she does it too, but he's done it in the beginning and he still does it. The fact that your choice words suck, like when you called her crazy, etc., 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 they play no role, Shawn. Like absolutely no role, so it's all her. So I said, Shawn, you full of that sugar honey. Okay, you really are. But we're gonna go ahead. So the conversations, they're at the dinner table, start with Marissa and Adam. He says they're totally vibing. She feels he's sweet and genuine and real. But I noticed she said he's had so many long term relationships. I'm like, again, DJ, stop the record. Like, we can't just be skating past some of this stuff. Like, we can just hear what was said. Because I said, shouldn't we be paying attention to that? Because then where'd everybody go then? Where'd everybody in these long term relationships go? So does that mean he may not be good when it comes to long-term relationships? And it's a two-party situation, right? We don't know what those other women were given, but we still got to come from a standpoint of asking, but what was he giving to the relationships? What was he contributing? Was he contributing positively or negatively to make those long-term relationships not work? And so also I'm like, and then did he have a habit of cutting them off potentially like he did when he cut old girl off at the first episode when he let her know on the phone that he was getting married and they were like literally in the middle of having something? Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just like, girl, definitely enjoy your fun for now. That's how it should be and all of that. Still substance included, but just make sure you're paying attention to what he's putting down. Pick up what that man is putting down and store it in your mental Rolodex. And so at that point, everyone's ooh and ahhing at the relationship and just love it, thinks they're great, and that's wonderful. Also, noticing my point of saying we haven't seen any substance from them, she says they haven't had a serious conversation. I'm like, dang, after all this time, like, what are we doing? This is what I'm saying. Gives me vibes of we're just, yeah, okay. I don't want to say what I thought because it's inappropriate, but yeah, yeah. And so Nick is with it though, right? Because he chimes in and asks if they have any plans on getting to know each other a little, getting to know, I'm getting tongue tied, getting to know each other a little deeper. Because it's like, this is a quick process and we don't have that much time. So when are we going to get into the things that we need to get into? Like, what's going on? And I said, great question. Then outside in his interview with Courtney, he says he was expecting to hear how thoughtful Adam was, and I'm like, exactly, me too. And, just something deeper from them, which Courtney says you might not have to be that thoughtful when Adam's the hottest one out of the group. I'm sorry, what? Nick says, wild comment. I say, yeah, off the chain comment. Like, girl, did that really come out of your mouth? It did. What a disrespectful tragedy of a moment, I tell you. Surprisingly, she realizes because then she tries to retract or do a little quick damage control and then be like, oh, well, he's the hottest because he's still her husband, talking about Nick. And he's like, nah, 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 I don't want that. Don't give me your leftovers. You done messed up. You done said what you said. The toothpaste is already out of the tube. Can't put it back. And I'm just surprised in that moment once she realized she stuck her foot all the way in her own mouth that she even tried to own up to it, even though it was just really bad. Because her personality just seems to me she wouldn't own things or take accountability, and then B, because initially I thought she was going to gaslight him, because then I know at one point she looked at him and she's like, are you for real right now? And I was like, girl, don't do it. Don't do him, because he's very for real. But then I think she was more so kind of like, are you for real? Almost like, did I really say that? Girl, you did. Girl, you did. Wow. I would have been feeling like OMG the rest of the night. The way that my nervous system would have been all discombobulated, like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to be here right now. I want to go hide under a rock. Can I leave now? Can I take my food to go? I will peep y'all tomorrow. Cause yeah. But anyways, not only is the disrespect outside, but it continues on the inside. Because now we've transitioned the focus to their relationship at the dinner table, and he's sharing what they could use more based off of the good things that Marissa and Adam shared. But then Courtney begins to give an example of how she didn't like cuddling with him and kept checking her watch because she was ready for her husband to get the up off of her. Literally says that out loud. Okay. Felipe asked Nick how he feels to be rejected because she is rejecting him. I agree with you, Felipe. And he plays this nice guy role, Nick, by cleaning up her mess and saying, well, it's not rejection. She's just a slow burn. I'm like, Nick, whatever. I need you to get a clue. I need you to wake up. I need you to stop playing this TV role. I need you to get for real because now you're being disrespectful, like disrespected. All bets are off. Forget the image of it all right now. Now you're coming for my character. Oh no. Now you're trying to play me, look me bad. Oh no, no, no. No. Now it's about to be on kind of a thing. Like I'm not gonna allow you to do that. So he shifts the mood to talk about what he loves about her. I'm like, okay, I can't. Even in this moment, I'm like, let's just move on because this is turned ridiculous. This is really turned. I wouldn't have had two words, right? If they say you don't have anything good to say, then don't say anything at all. I just wouldn't have been saying anything at all. Like, you know what? No, I'm good. I'm gonna let her go ahead and I'm gonna let her finish saying what she needs to say. Mm, No, actually, I went. I'll be like, no, I'm not gonna allow her to disrespect me right now. Like, yeah, it just would have been a problem for me. That just would not have been a good moment. So Belle Jolie speaks up with a great question because she wants to know what efforts Courtney is making to work on their lack or her lack of showing affection. And the answer we get in terms of her efforts, nothing, per usual. We went around the mulberry bush with no direct answer. I don't know if y'all caught it. I ain't catch nothing. If you did, hop on the dance floor and let me know what her answer was, please. Because I'll definitely wait for that. I'm curious to know. So let's move on. Shawn feels like he has the right to chime in on their situation, like he's some doctor philosophical or some doctor with some type of philosophical talk. And I need him to fall all the way back and work on his own disaster. Like, stop trying to water someone else's grass and worry about watering your own because that joint is dry. It is desolate. Okay. It is a desert for real. And Nick feels that him and Courtney are moving in the right direction. You guys absolutely are not. But hold up, before we move on, let's just throw in one more appetizer at the dinner table of disrespect from Courtney because she says she doesn't know if Nick is comfortable with who he is. And when I tell you it was a cringy moment because of the way she said it and the way his face dropped when she said it, along with the way that Felipe's jaw dropped when she said it, I said, she just continues to emasculate this man bit by bit by bit. She just, and it doesn't matter if people are around or not. She's not even conscious of the matter of fact. If people are around, I think that fuels her more. Very scary. Let's move on. My overall assessment, y'all, I feel like even just after watching these couples, and I know this is a quick insert, because even at this point, like I heard what people had to say. I'm just like, I feel like Dr. Lisa when she felt that Mecca said at a certain point, or what he said at a certain point, like she felt like he was just being performative. And I feel like that's what a lot of these people at this dinner table were giving was absolute performances. They wanted to present well in front of everyone else. They had to look good. Cause I'm like, do half of y'all really tell your partners that when the cameras are down and when the cameras aren't around and when these other people aren't around, when it's just the two of y'all? Because we don't see it when the cameras are around and it's just the two of y'all. So I'm just asking, especially Mecca, um, which is why I'm glad he got called out after Belle Jolie experienced her or shared her experience and let them know about the whole you're more attracted to me than I'm attracted to you percentages and all of that. They were surprised by that. And, because Adam chimes in and says, so you basically friend zoned her. And I'm like, Pretty much. Thank you. Call the thing a thing." And even with Mecca trying to lead the charge, I just feel like he was, with the things he's saying, he got into like this whole preachy mode and about trying to touch upon their relationships and what the woman bring out of them and how he feels like this girl next to him is a safe space and all of that. And she may be. as your friend. But we're trying to get past the friendship part, bro, because there's a romantic element that is supposed to be and required in a marriage as well. You do realize that too, right? The friendship thing is cute. It is wonderful. It is a great start and base, and you need that as well. But we already got that part down. We're trying to understand where your mind is at from those emotions of if you're really feeling her past the friendship level. And so I just feel like even in this moment, what he's saying, he's trying to make himself even believe what he's saying was good. And I'm like, yeah, I can't. I'm sorry, but yeah, I just don't believe Mecca right now. I really don't. And it could be an internal battle. And I'm sure it's an internal battle that he is having. But I hope, like I said, he just learns to release just a little bit because he really might like it once he releases it and sees that it could be okay. It really could be okay. And it might just work out. So I said, not Nikki on the side, quietly telling Shawn she's trying to figure out a way to speak on their relationship without embarrassing him. I said, yikes. That should not be the conversation. And I feel like there were even certain points where production caught their faces, y'all. I know y'all saw it with me too, where they were sitting there like, well, cute for y'all. That ain't our relationship. Or looking like, don't the hell y'all come over here and ask us nothing. Okay, we ain't got nothing to say. Just keep talking amongst yourselves. So I know the way they just really did want to talk that night was probably a super real 1,000% sure thing. But anyways, now we get into Michelle and Cam. She's gazing at him with the sweetest eyes, and again, I just think she's so pretty. Like she's just beautiful. I know she had on makeup and stuff, but I don't know, just a beautiful natural essence to her. And Dr. Lisa says so too. Like, oh, just look how she's looking at him. And I love how Cam said at the airport they spent 4 hours waiting and catching up, and he just had a lot of fun with her and really enjoyed that. I said, meanwhile, on the other side of the airport, Nikki and Shawn was tearing stuff up. But needless to say, Cam said he's thinking about his forever now. And everyone eats that all up. They're oh. They're loving it all, okay? As they should. And I love it too. I'm not mad at them. So Devin and Caitlin, he shares he's cannonballed into a frozen lake when he started off with Caitlyn. Everybody gets a laugh out of that because we know sis has been a little cold as ice. And he says he's also been learning that his relationship with Caitlyn is not just about his needs, but what she needs as well. She basically lets us know she's been trying, and I think this is all a cute moment for them. Like she's even touching him and flirting with him and saying, oh, I like touching you, this, that, and the third. It was interesting how they showed up compared to what they just were prior to with one another, and how she was like in the room crying about it. And I know they had their counselor session, and she did even say in one of her sidebar individual session or interviews how, they really have been putting the work in and all of that. And that's good, right? That's good. But I still want to know what happens though when y'all are alone. You've been putting the work in, but does it really look like what it's looking like at the dinner table when y'all are alone? You know what I'm saying? What is your definition of putting? I don't know. She explains it and makes it seem like she said, oh, even today, like I gave him so many compliments. And I'm like, even that. And everybody's eating that up. I'm like, but that again is going to be a lot for you because you're not accustomed to that. Yeah, you did that today, but imagine having to do that, if not every day, every other day, for somebody like him who just needs that. And so I don't know, y'all. Again, I'm trying to call these things the way I personally see them. I it's not that I want to be a Debbie Downer to people's situations, but we can't act like some of this stuff ain't crazy and ain't making no sense. You know what I mean? And I still just don't believe what they're giving because again, he needs a lot from her and she needs her space. All of that just doesn't disappear no matter how much you work. So y'all have had a matter of a day or two. So how much work could you really have been putting in? Like that's just not realistic to me. I feel like they hopped into this out of nowhere kind of a groove, and I'm like, nah, I this soon. I don't think so, but we'll see. I still have my doubts, y'all. We'll see. I hope, but I doubt. Felipe and Tori, we know they still find each other amazing, committed to making it work. She shares they did their thing in the bedroom. Gets very personal about that, but she also says how she ended up on the couch afterward, feeling like she needed to slow things down. And maybe so. I mean, I guess I'm still really trying to be open to her perspective on this and where she's coming from. So I guess, I guess. And I found it rather interesting when Belle Jolie asked what their fear is in their relationship, and Felipe says he fears losing that passion that they have. And I said, well, Felipe, that very well could be happening, and that's okay. That's a real life. That's a real deal situation. So you just have to both be willing to put in the work to try to find that passion again if need be, right? So tests and challenges are definitely going to come, but it's all in how you handle them. That's all. And it's all the fact that you still work together collectively and willingly to get it back on track. Not going to always be the easiest thing to do, but it's the thing to do. You know what I mean? If you want it to work. And I love how Marissa said it best. She said her grandparents have been married for 65 years. And she said you can't feel butterflies and that spark for 65 years because your body would give out. And the way she said it was adorable. So everybody kind of laughed. She said you have to be ready for the ebbs and flows in a long-term marriage, and that is very true. That's just the name of the game. There's no way you make it to longevity. And again, I think I told you guys, like, I just celebrated my 17th year anniversary. Listen, her grandparents got 65 years in. There's people I know 25, 30, 40, 50 years in. You don't make it to those years without there being conflict, without learning how to work through the conflict and the resolution. But I also feel like you shouldn't, because most people front, but you shouldn't make it to all those years without experiencing so much joy and laughter and just great memories together either, you know? So it's an up and down kind of a thing, but you find your groove. And honestly, listen, there's some days you may not even like your partner. Like, if you don't get from me, you know what I mean? But that thing that's within that you love always brings it back together. And then it's a quick instantaneous, vibe and feeling all over again because you're so solid and solidified in what you have that you're like, all right, I mean, I guess I like you today though. Actually, you kind of fine it. Dang, like what's going on? You know what I mean? It's how it goes. It's the nature of the beast. And I've said all that to say y'all will be all right. Just put the work in and you will be okay. And again, let it be both of y'all willing to put the work in. It ain't gonna work if one ain't interested and one is. Both have to be interested. So Shawn and Nikki, again, we're still just giving looks like, and I said, so here we go. All right. Now round 14. Ding, 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 between Nikki and Shawn. So she shares that their couple of days have been challenging, and Belgily and Mecca got to witness the turmoil. She said firsthand the night prior on the double date. And she said Shawn portrays her to be the problem of the relationship and like he's the stable base when that's not what it really is. And yet again, I say, I agree with her. She was making sense to me from what we've seen. And so Shawn comes in with his wingman Mecca, and pointing at everything that, Shawn is saying. I'm like, Mecca, relax. Okay. This ain't showtime. And, acting like he's just this knight in charming, shining armor and wants to be her soft base. But he says that she associated that with him calling her anxious and how she's like, I'm not anxious, I'm confident, and all this other stuff. He was like, and then it just pretty much went left from there. And he's just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, how do we get here? How do we get here? And when I tell you again, performative, back to the word of the night, performative. He was just playing that role really good, y'all, at that table. Because I was even sitting there like, no, this man is not sitting up here half stepping, half telling the story. Like, I'm waiting for him to insert his part, but all he's giving is he's the victim. And I'm just like, bruh, you cannot be for real the way you've been showing out. And even with this, how do we get here? Well, let me tell you how you got here. How you got here is she's tired of your ass because she's been dealing with your mess from day one because you have been just acting a fool. Acting a fool. She's already not attracted to you and she's trying to make this thing work and she's been trying to be patient with you. And I'm just like, we even got a little sidebar, kind of, sort of, use your circumstantial evidence presented, your critical thinking skills when y'all were kind of in that hot tub and you were implying, listen, we've done more than kissing, which made me think, I don't know about everybody else or you guys, like, well, maybe there is more when the cameras go down. But I'm thinking a way of maybe she's feeling him and she's just not willing to admit that. Maybe she's worried about what other people would think about that or whatever the case may be. But it's still the fact, though, even at the end of the day, it's just been a problem. And Shawn, you very much, very much, very much have been a part of the problem. Yeah. And so even After he says that, Mecca says since he was there last night, he believes the overarching, but he meant to say overarching, theme was accountability and how Nikki didn't take accountability. And I said, Mecca, again, because you're not privy to how they got there. She has hit her breaking point. I'm pretty confident and I'm pretty sure of it. Like, you're witnessing one incident out of like 50. Okay. I'm sure at this point, like I said, it was the fact that Nikki's harping on her is because she's just had enough of the nonsense and she's tired. And I already told y'all in my prior videos, whenever she hit her breaking point, I'm all with it because I feel like she's done more than enough. I feel like she's held it together long enough. So it just is what it is. And she said their conflict repeats itself and they don't communicate effectively. Facts. Okay. And she shares how at the airport he called her crazy. So they're all like, whoa, wow, wow, like kind of shocked. And of course, she's like, he's not going to admit to that. He's not going to tell you that. And did he? Did not. Definitely danced around that. And Devin speaks up and says both of them have walls up. And, he thinks that they think that they're always right and they aren't willing to see each other because of their egos. Now, in this moment, when I tell you Shawn showing up in true Shawn form and character was totally disrespectful for giving all the attention to his phone, because y'all, the way he was looking down at his phone that whole time when Devin was talking, you know what I'm saying? Even if he would have done a look up, look down, look up, look down. Let me act like I'm engaged. Yeah, and look down. That still wouldn't have worked because you're at a moment in time where you're supposed to be engaging with the other couples. Put your motherfucking phone down. It'll be there when you're done, and especially when you're being directly spoken to. So I didn't like that at all. It should have been the fact that his attention should have been on Devin, who was trying to address him. And clearly, I'm like, it's hitting the spot or he would have been all in, probably even amening Devin at this point if what Devin was saying was favorable for him. So I think everything she said to explain that man in the moment was spot on with how just disrespectful he's been to her. And she shares the airport situation and explains how she was trying to de escalate. But he was calling her aggressive when she got up, and she's like, I'm this 5'5" woman towering over him. And oh my gosh, the way that everyone started chiming in, oh no, don't do that. Oh, don't talk about it. It's like, oh, don't disrespect my man now. Oh, don't disrespect my boy. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. And I'm just like, okay. I guess that could be a twofold situation. My first initial honest reaction was like, I don't think she was trying to be disrespectful. I don't. Because first of all, I don't think she said it here, but she said it before, if I'm not mistaken. He was sitting down. So it's not like he was standing up and she said he was sitting down. So she's going to be towering over him. You know what I mean? Furthermore, she's like trying to make the point that, listen, I'm just this 5'5", I guess what will be considered average height woman. I don't know. Y'all have to let me know. I'm 5'2", so I'm short. I don't know if 5'5" is considered still on the shorter side or more of the average or what. But I call it average. Whatever the case, she's just like, this little bit me of a woman. Like, how can I be aggressive? I think she was trying to make a point. So I felt like they personally misunderstood her. But on the other side of that, if you want to say, nah, she was trying to throw shade in there with the towering word. Maybe she could have chosen a better word. But again, you will be towering over someone if you're standing, if you're, they're sitting um and you're standing up. But at the same time too, that's not a good look to be towering over somebody just in general when they're sitting down, because now you are presenting this tone where you're trying to give off, or where you could give off a little confrontational vibe, I'll say, because we don't like that word aggressive. But let's move on. So I think they were doing the most with that. um I don't think she was trying to slight him at all, but that's just my opinion if I had to choose, right? And the experts say they've never seen Shawn so quiet and that he's embarrassed. And he should be. I say, wait till y'all see the footage rollback of how he's behaved, because you must not have seen it all. And I feel Shawn, again, played a character at that table, and that's just not cool. And Nikki even addresses that at some point once they get outside when the dinner is over, because the drama definitely continues outside. But even before we get to that, but first, just in case you weren't through with the disrespect and you needed one more, we're gonna get one more dose of disrespect for the road from Courtney, because now her and Nick are leaving. She's complaining about the type of car that he ordered and just criticizing him before they even get in the car. Good. I think he stepped on her foot accidentally. She had to say something about that. Then he's opening the door for it again. And she's like, oh, yeah, because it's the first time you opened the door for me. I said, you just can't win with this girl. You just cannot. And so, anyways, he brings up in the car the conversation about her bringing up him lacking confidence at the dinner table because he's like, I'm not sure how we got there because that's definitely not my style. And anybody that knows me knows that. And she gets into this whole cluster of conversation yet again in a roundabout way because then she's throwing Devin into it. And I think the point she's making is that the guys just aren't used to being rejected. And so now it's a way of, or they're not used to woman not swooning over them or falling at their feet. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to pull what I can from her. Can I tell you the way she be saying 50,000 words and I just need her to extract maybe a good 50 and stick with that and then we'll get it. That would work for me. But to the gist of it, I think she was just making the point that he's feeling a certain way because herself personally, she's not just all over him like he's maybe a custom woman doing, and that's presenting a problem for him. I still don't think that's what it is. She feels that he's not used to getting rejected. And uh he's trying to explain certain things even after that to her. Her head is completely turned away from him. She's like, yeah, okay, okay. Like just completely egging him. I'm like, Nick, be done. Like you've got to be done. I know you want to stick around, like like I'm sure the people have been saying because I know I've definitely seen a video too after or in the past where everybody just keeps addressing him being on this reality TV show situation. So it's like, listen, if that's the love and what you just go to another show. This just ain't some things ain't worth it. Some things ain't worth it. I'm just going to say for fun's sake that I'm still on your side. I'm still on your team with the fact that you came to find love. I don't care what the people say. I'm gonna go against the grain, okay? But either way, or I still just feel like y'all, all that aside, he's still a human being and he doesn't deserve the disrespect. And he hasn't, to me, done anything, even if he is boring, even if he doesn't tickle her fancy, he still hasn't done anything. Like Nick still comes across as a chill guy, like and a kind guy. So even if for that reason, show him some respect. You know what I mean? Show him some respect. Like she just can't, and I just don't like it. And I'm like, again, I see loud and clear why your joints have not worked. Oh my gosh. Anyways, she's just terrible to me. So she's definitely, yeah, on the bottom of the totem pole for me. Her and Shawn are sitting side by side. So, anyways, we go back to Shawn and Nikki talking outside. Again, for the record, I will say I'm still with her in this moment. He put on a hole in front of that table and now wants to own up to his mess when no one is around. And I said, see, and she tapped on that very thing. She was like, you made me look all types of ways. Like, why didn't you, what you're doing now, why didn't you do this at that table? And I'm like, well, because his image is everything. He's got to protect his image and he's got to make you look like you're the nutty boots. And he's the one who's got it all together. Like, what are we saying here? And excuse me, he claims he won't be fighting with her anymore. And he's saying it so sarcastically. Let me promise you, I will not. I will not be fighting with you again. First of all, that's not even a true statement. Excuse me, guys. Second of all, even before that, he was already starting with that condescending bull when he was talking about, oh, well, you seem to be diagnosing everything with me and you seem to have the answer. So you should know what it is and what's going on with me by now. So you tell me, kind of a thing, like just being his old rude self. And again, when does enough become enough as enough is enough? And so she doesn't believe him when he says that he's not going to argue with her no more because they've been through this 1,000 times. And she says she doesn't know if he can show up like he needs to, so he tells her she should just leave. And what does this do? She leaves, as she should. All right. She kindly handed him his little jacket that was keeping her warm from the windy cold, the windy chill, and she exited to the left, Went on about her business as I would have done. I ain't got to ask twice what you said. Matter of fact, no, maybe I would ask you what you said because I just want to make sure I heard you correctly so that I know I heard what I heard. I'm sorry, repeat that. I should leave. Gotcha. Okay. I'm out. It wouldn't have been no, what you mean I should leave? Or why are you telling me to leave? There's nothing left to say. Shout out to Mint Condition. I'm out. I'm out. And so she did what she should. Sorry, y'all, there's something stuck in my throat. And as she should, because it's just been that's a lot for one person to bear when you have to continuously argue with somebody day in or day out, or everything you say they find issue with, and y'all keep getting back to this horrible space. Who wants to be a part of that? Like, you telling me to leave, that's threatening me with a good time, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to grab that as my out. You know what I'm saying? As my exit, as my sign of relief. That sounds like a spa day to me in all actuality. And so they get back to the apartment where she's packing a little bag, and she just says, she needs a little break. And even then, I'm like, girl, you are good. Because I would have been like, no, I need a break for tonight because I'm tired, but I'm coming back tomorrow and I'm getting the rest of my stuff and we're done. So even for her to be willing to say we need a break, and again, this all could be her showing up for the camera, y'all. I don't care. She's still holding herself together appropriately, whether it's for the cameras or not, because he is something else. He really is. He is a hard pill to swallow. And he's saying to her he would like for her to stay, and I'm like, for what, Sean? See what I mean? So you want her to stay so you can continue to gaslight her, so y'all can continue to be in this repeated sick cycle that just isn't working? Like, no. And for the reason, if we want to say, oh, it's still early, it's soon, let them work on it, then I still feel like they need a little time out right now. I'm usually not with that because I feel like the more time apart, the more you can go the distance. But this is just too much for any person to handle. Until them experts get back in my face, I'm like, I won't be seeing you. All right. I will not be seeing you. He's off the chain. So that's pretty much how it ends, you guys. The music is on, the dance floor is lit. Don't be no prudent, hold up the wall, hop on the dance floor. Let me know what you thought about this whole episode. I am sure, and I have not seen any other videos, 9 times out of 10, I don't even get to watch other people's perspectives. I may chime in, but I literally do not check for anybody's videos or what they have to say until I'm done with my review because I don't want it to sway my opinion. But I'm sure there's probably a narrative with how they presented when you think about how the couples at the dinner table were even kind of coming for Nikki, that Nikki is the problem herself. Now, do I think that she's had her moments? I do, but I still feel like overall as him, I don't think it's been as bad as he's been. I just don't. So y'all have to please let me know if you think it is Nikki at this point and tell me why. I'm so curious to know. Or if you still think it's Sean, or if you think it's both of them. You know what I'm saying? And let me know what you're thinking about the other couples. Like, do you really think that there's still hope for Belgily and Mecca? Do you think it's a thing where he's just flat out not into it and he's also saving face and putting on because he doesn't want to come across as like, the butthead of the situation? Or do you think he really is just struggling? Like, maybe he really does like her, but he doesn't know how to get over that hump into the romantic side, but he really wants to. I don't know, y'all, but either way, or I said more than enough at this point. So I will end by saying I hope that this video found you in good spirits. And if not, I hope I said or did a little something to put a little bit of a smile on your face and make your day better. I am sending you all social hugs. I appreciate you all so much for your support, for your love from the bottom of my heart. To those of you who hopefully will join before my next video, because I haven't watched the next episode yet, I salute you. Welcome to the chat party. And y'all, I'll be back to do this all over again. I'm hoping that I can come back today at some point, at least for the next episode, and then wrap it up before the weekend's end with the third episode. But listen, life be doing what it does. Y'all already know that. All right. So until then, y'all know what to do. Y'all stay up, y'all stay blessed, and I'm out. Peace.